Hey guys, I'm Janet, on occasion, and today we're playing another Total War Warhammer Battle Replay. Now, you may have noticed I didn't put one up yesterday. I'm sorry about that, but apparently, probably a Skaven of Clan Eshin came in and severed my internet. So I had no internet, and I couldn't upload, which is very annoying. So I decided I'm going to put this one up before the one that was supposed to go up yesterday, so that way I could issue this apology. So I'm really sorry about that. But get into the battle. So, here I've got a front line of Eternal Guard. I've got Durthu. Haven't brought him in a while. Also, got some Treekin in the back line, so, you know, just simple, you know, straightforward elf build here. Also, Laura Life, my spell singer. And over here, I've got a couple of Deepwood Scouts with Swift Shiver Shards, so they're really cool. And hiding in the trees, I've got some Wild Riders. So if we look at this guy's army, now I had a good chat with this guy, actually, throughout the battle. Friendly bloke, Moo92. So he said he was trying out something new, and in theory it's quite good, because here he's got a completely, you know, unbreakable front line, all Flagellant, Sigmar Sons, and the Tattersalls. So, you know, they're going to fight to the death, the entire front line, which is pretty good, you know, really good delaying strategy. And then back here, he's also got a load of free company. So the idea here being, you know, these guys can just sit and fight forever, and these guys can whittle away at the enemy, which I think is a pretty good call, because, you know, chance I'm going to bring, you know, maybe Durthu or some Treekin, and they can just shoot at them with, you know, without any hassle. He's also got protecting them, the Royal Altdorf Griffites, and he also brought Hellstorm Rocket Battery, which potentially could work really well against the Elves, because generally you bring quite tight formation. I spread out a little bit more though, because I wanted to save some money on my formation and, you know, get more other stuff. But yeah, it's not bad in concept, because you could get a lot of kills on these guys, nice and early, which, you know, would really help. He's also got General of the Empire. Sorry, he's got Boris Toddbringer. My bad. So, great to see Boris. Don't see him often, because you got to unlock him, which is very annoying. So, let's speed things up a bit. So, I'm sending my front line in, just as usual. Obviously, I'm slightly afraid here. I didn't actually realise they were a free company. I thought they were handgunners. So I thought, well, Durthu's dead. But yeah, anyway. So here I start sort of threatening his back line with my Wild Riders. So that way I can bring up my archers. So if I can get and let's engage with these guys, pin the enemy down if they come out thinking this is all they have to deal with, then yeah, then I can just pepper them with archers. And, you know, these are all quite large units, should be easy to shoot at them while they're in, you know, while they're fighting. So that's good. Especially if I get a nice engage from, you know, the other side, it should be good. So, here, front line's coming in. Durthu's taking a load of rockets to the face. Nicely, though, here, these guys don't have the best range, so he does have to move them forward, which is good. So, send the front line in, and Durthu's going to start taking some hits. So, here, what was that I popped? I can't remember. Oh, an Earth Blood straight away. I was expecting more fire, to be honest. But, you know, it means they can heal through it. Here, I send Durthu straight through, because I don't want these guys to be able to start shooting at him, you know, uncontested. Here, start getting some archer fire on them, and I charge in. So, Altdorf Griffites do great against Wild Riders, but with the support, it's going to be a lot harder for them. It's going to be a lot harder. So, here, I think he changes his mind about attacking these guys, does he? Oh, no, he does come in. So, I didn't actually realise he did that. I think he pulls out pretty quickly, because he realises that these guys are totally screwed. And I'm attacking his back line now. Durthu is in real trouble. So at the moment I'm just waiting for Earthblood to come back so I can pop one on him because he needs it so badly. Luckily though, these guys don't have armor piercing and Durthu's got what, like 100 armor? Yeah, 100 armor. So the Free Company Militia aren't actually going to do a whole lot of damage to him. So there goes that Earthblood, it's actually keeping the fight for a bit. So that's good. You can see he's taking huge casualties across the line here. My Treekin can just keep fighting. Because, yeah, they're just not going to take much damage from these guys. So that's good. So here, get my Wild Riders in. Over this way, you know, the Demigriffs are running. He's sort of given up with Boris trying to fight these guys, because he knows that that's a bit frivolous. You know, this is getting torn apart. And he needs to save his free company if they're going to keep, you know, poking at Durthu. Or, maybe he can just finish Durthu off. Which, not a bad idea, because if he was able to do that, that would be, you know, that would really help. Although, you know, his front line is pretty shattered, I've still got so many guys, and so many spears as well, you know, with armor piercing as well. So that's going to make it really tough for, you know, Boris to sort of fight them off. But anyway, Durthu is an absolute brawler, so he's going to be great at taking out Boris. And I've got my Wild Riders in this fight as well. Here as well, he brings in his Demigriffs again, or at least tries to, and I start peppering them with my Deepwood Scouts. So you can see they're taking a lot of damage. There's only 3 of them left. So that's good news for me. So Boris started a waver now, and yeah, put Foe Seeker on. I used another Earth Blood at some point in this blob, because yeah, you can see Dirthu was getting near his healing cap. But you know, still plenty of healing to be done. But as you can see, like his flagellants just haven't been able to do the damage against his front line. So pretty sound concept, but they just don't trade well against Eternal Guard and Treekin, especially not Treekin. They just can't seem to get any damage on them. So yeah, not ideal. So you can see everything's shattered now. Except, obviously, he's got all these invincible troops. Because at this point I was chatting to Moo Moo, actually. He said, he was basically saying like, you know, I think I know what I need to do there. And we actually both said in unison, yeah, bring spears. So yeah, he should have, you know, sort of brought less of that huge front line of flagellants and brought some spears to protect his back line. Because if he'd done that, I couldn't have come in with the Wild Riders, so they could have kept shooting at Dirthu. Also, though, what we didn't discuss, I think he should have brought handgunners. I thought he had. I never realised they were free company. So yeah, if he'd brought handgunners, he could have taken Dirthu out so quickly. I wouldn't have been able to do much about it. I would have had to basically leave my front line back, and I would have had to get, you know, sort of my Wild Riders, my archers in to start doing damage to things, and, you know, sort of bait them to attack me, and, you know, hopefully envelop them. It would have been really tough, especially if he had some spears. I don't know if I would have been able to stop all of his handgunners. Obviously, free company, a bit cheaper than handgunners, but still, he had so many flagellants. And just the threat of handgunners and you know, protected handgunners, that would have really put me off guard. So yeah, it wouldn't have taken a lot, I don't think, to change this build. But having that, like, you know, I mean, look at these guys, they're still fighting. If he was able to keep his like free company in line here, you know, take out my you know, take out Dirthu and start shooting the Treekin. I mean, as you can see, my Eternal Guard are really dishevelled right now. They are so damaged. So yeah, the only thing really that has been just clearing up here are my Treekin against all these unbreakable foes. So yeah, if he was able to actually get some fire on them, then yeah, he could have wrapped me up pretty quickly. Because, you know, he almost killed Dirthu, and that was just a free company that are not designed to be shooting something with that heavy armor. So yeah, I don't think it would have taken much for this, like, you know, this build to be really dangerous. So I'm gonna skip ahead to the last bit. So Pyrrhic victory. But you can see here, you know, flagellants, not a lot of damage. Didn't do a lot of damage. But then I didn't have a very big front line. So not too bad, really. All the free company, they spent their entire time shooting at Dirthu. So obviously they didn't get any kills, but they did a lot of damage to him. They did a lot of damage to him. Unfortunately, the Griffites, they didn't have any backup. So they got really screwed over by the Wild Riders and my Swift Shiver Shards. So that was a shame. He could have kept them, like, held them back, used them defensively, and I think that would have helped. I don't think he should have run out there with his Griffites, because it just made him far too easy to ambush, and he couldn't bring anything to help. I mean, he had Boris, but Boris couldn't really do a whole lot. He's just one dude. You know, he could have dived in and started trying to take out the Wild Riders, but then I would have done a lot of damage to him, and I could have just been peppering him with archers while he was doing that. So, yeah, he should have just held back. And, you know, he's got an unbreakable line, so he doesn't have to worry about it. You know, he can just keep that front line going and fight around it. He didn't have to leave that, you know, the protection of that. So, bit of a pity. Did a couple of things wrong, but generally I think just the build needed a couple of tweaks. But I thought it was worth casting, because, you know, I had a nice chat with this guy, and he's definitely working on a cool build here. You know, it's good to see something a little bit different. So, you know, I had to show it, even though it was a loss. You know, he was definitely on board with trying something new, and I love that. So yeah, well played, man. And you can see here, like, you know, the Deepwood Scouts, they got so many kills. This was after they were shooting at the Demigriffs. I just had them shooting into the back of flagellants, and they were just getting one kill per arrow fired, pretty much. It was great. And, you know, Treekin, look at this, hundreds of kills by the Treekin. And yeah, they are just so good at just chopping through flagellants. They're not very good against fighting anything that's sort of, you know, particularly defensive. It doesn't even have to be very defensive. Even against, like, swordsmen, they don't tend to get a lot of kills. But against flagellants with no armor, they can just beat them around. It's really good. Yeah, they're really good against flagellants. Which is why, yeah, he definitely needed his range to deal with them. Also, you know, obviously my Wild Riders, they just cleaned up all of his Free Company militia. Durthu was just stomping around the whole time. It was really good. Even my Spell Singer got 40 kills, which is crazy. So, obviously I was going to get a lot of kills, though, with my guys, because they're all unbreakable, so I had to kill them all. So, yeah, pretty fun, though. Pretty fun. If you guys enjoyed this, comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good day, guys.